Hey guys, today we're doing a reaction on a video that was made a year ago, but when I watched this, I disagreed with a lot of his beliefs and why the Buu saga sucks. I think it doesn't. I think it's one of the best actual sagas, mainly because I grew up with the Frieza and the Buu arc. I completely missed the Cell saga, but I do have it. I have every single Dragon Ball. Let's check this out, and when I go through it, I will be saying why he's wrong or why I disagree. So let's just start because it's going to be a long video.
A lot. So much that I've watched nearly every series except for GT and Heroes more than twice. And
I love GT, by the way. It's one of my favorites. I know a lot of people don't. I know it's like a rough subject to go on, but I do really do. I grew up with GT also.
The exact same conclusion. Goku Black sucks!
I agree with him there.
No, wait. Different video. The Buu saga is easily the weakest in the original series. It's too long.
It's not the weakest in the original series. I'm trying to think of what's the weakest. I think some of the others are weak, but I don't think the Buu saga is the weakest. I don't exactly remember which is the weakest, but I don't believe it's the Buu saga.
Who I think might be tied with Omega Shenron for most boring in all of Dragon Ball. And instead of formatting...
He's not boring. Buu is awesome. And Buu is so awesome that he's still a part of the... He's still a part of the series.
Stardust Crusaders video, I'll be going
to this day.
I'll summarize the plot and explain what I like and don't like along the way. I'll do this so you can understand how badly this arc drops in.
that right there is actually...
This is the only
I like
way
that.
to think to...
And I'm sorry about my mouth not syncing up with the actual video itself. I don't know how to do that. I'll have to get that sorted out soon.
So this video is probably going to be long, so grab a snack, a drink, and a pillow to punch as you scream at your monitor, because chances are this video will piss you off. Let's go! Part 1. The Great Saga.
Yeah, it's going to piss me off. Now, I'm not trying to be mean about this guy, because I know this has been a year, and maybe his beliefs have like changed, and it's just a video on critiquing what he's saying. That's all it is. So please don't think I'm just being mean for being mean. I'm not trying to be mean. Just to that. The Great Saiyaman saga. Let's see what he has to say.
We are immediately introduced to adult Gohan, even though he's 17. And I actually like him a lot. I like that his goal is to become a scholar like his mom wanted, and I like his empathy. As Gohan is going to school, he sees an armed robbery taking place, and knowing that these guys will kill in order to get their way, Gohan decides that he must do something. And I love this because it's a clear contrast from his father. Goku does fight to protect lives, but often only that of his friends, while Gohan fights because he feels like he can protect everyone, which is...
That I agree with. Gohan is a nice kid, well, at this time, and he is different from his father in a lot of ways, but he still wants to protect people.
The Great Saiyaman is born, and I love it. I love how goofy it is. Honestly, it brings new life to the character for me. I mean, I honestly don't understand why
I like Great Saiyaman, because I remember playing as him in the Dragon Ball Z games.
And on the way, we get introduced to Videl Satan. Yeah, that's right. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. Just don't want to get demonetized in this video. The daughter of the best boy, Mr.
I don't blame him.
Who takes it upon herself to protect the world like how she thinks her father did. I really like her. She's a brilliant foil to Gohan's innocent and goofy nature. I also like that she's one of the few female characters in the franchise to seek out strength. And I'm talking about DBZ, so these two don't count. Sorry, Cauliflower. But upon learning Gohan's identity, she realizes that both of their fathers have won the World Martial Arts Tournament. And she...
So this is all, so far, this is like the pluses of Dragon Ball Z Buu Saga. Well, the Buu arc. So it really hasn't been anything negative yet.
But first, she wants to learn how to fly, because who doesn't? And once again, I just love her character. Both Videl and Gohan realize that they have a crush on each other. It's always fun to watch. And as a...
My take on Videl and Gohan's relationship, I think they were made for each other. I think she's a strong-willed person like Chi-Chi, and Gohan's a lot like his father in a lot of ways, his personality. But he's smarter than his father. Let's not get into that right now. But yeah, it's kind of a good pairing. I think that they did get a pretty good job with Videl and Gohan.
Jesus Christ, Toriyama, wait till the last second to explain how your characters can do things. But whatever. Another thing I like is how Chi-Chi is characterized. At first as a concerned mother who was worried that the city girl will steal her son away, but then learning that her sons are happy when she's around, and oh wait, I said sons. I don't like Goten. Let me explain. A good way to show that time has passed.
I don't mind Goten. He's not one of my favorite characters, but I think they should have gave him more to do. It's just there. He helps out his brother in the beginning, and then all of a sudden you don't see him that much anymore, if not at all. I mean, till later on, until he fuses into Gotenks. But in this part, yeah, he helps out his brother. That's basically all, and he meets his dad for the first time.
How relationships have advanced over the years. The Saiyan saga did this really well by introducing Gohan. But if I think Gohan is good and Goten is bad, well then why? I'll tell you, Gohan was a distinct character when he was introduced, and most of the time he acted like a normal kid, with a tendency to break people's fucking spines. But Gohan, for me at the very least, was relatable.
Yeah, they gave Gohan a better arc in Dragon Ball Z than they did Goten. Mainly because they were trying to fill out a cast. They were trying to make more kids, because what happens is that when your characters get older and grow up, they have to make more kids to fill in that gap of where because if the other characters start to grow up, then you won't have any more kids, so they have to make more kids. If that makes sense, it should. But I see why they did that. But they had way too many characters as it was. That's what I'm trying to say.
And we've all had to face challenges that seemed impossible at the time. And I feel like that's why Gohan worked. It was sloppy at times, sure, but it got the job done. Goten just acts like Kid Goku. He's given little
Piccolo.
to no reason to explain why he even exists. And while Gohan lost a good 80% of his fights, Goten is OP as fuck. So much so that he's able to maintain the Super Saiyan form, which doesn't make sense. And what makes less sense is that he got the form when he was...
Well, the theory is why Goten could turn Super Saiyan so fast, because of his dad and his brother. The theory is that before Goku fought in the Cell games, Goku and Chi-Chi did a little bit of a... And if you remember in that gap, Goku could turn Super Saiyan, and he was staying Super Saiyan before the Cell games. So his cells were stronger. So Goten could transform at a young age. It's like you could see like this a second ago. I'm not gonna rewind it because this video is already gonna be long. But that's what the theory is. I actually couldn't believe it.
Chi-Chi wasn't even strong enough to make Piccolo flinch, but can turn this 7-year-old into a Super Saiyan. Alright. And what's worse is that we already get introduced to a kid.
It wasn't her, it was Goku.
Written a million times better. We already...
Same thing with Vegeta.
...become in a dystopian setting. And here we get to see him grow up as a pampered brat. And
my thoughts on Kid my thoughts on Kid Trunks are that when he was younger, because the new Dragon Ball Super manga, I'm not going to tell you because you guys I don't want to get spoiled. Spoilers for now. My thoughts on him though are is a spoiled rich kid that was nothing but mean. Rude I should say, not mean. But I like Future Trunks a lot more.
It also even makes more sense for Trunks to get Super Saiyan because at the very least he trains in the gravity chamber. And I have a very specific problem with how...
But Vegeta didn't know that he could transform to Super Saiyan. Remember, if you watch the anime, you see Vegeta training in the hyperbolic wrong one. The gravity chamber, and then young Trunks transforms to Super Saiyan, and he looks and he's like shocked, and then all of a sudden Trunks says, "Yeah, Goten can also transform also," and then he's even more shocked. So he didn't really explain, and plus he wasn't even training; he was just there because he wants to play with his dad.
Not that later. So, with the power of flight under her belt, Videl decides to start her own training, and at the same time, Goku explains to Gohan from Otherworld that he will be coming back. Gohan is overjoyed and tells all of Goku's friends, including Vegeta, who wants to fight him again. Big surprise. And they all prepare for the tournament. What could possibly go wrong?
Because they're enemies. Well, not really enemies, they're frenemies.
Wrong! Kind of. The gang meet up at the tournament, and Goten has his one good scene. Goku freaks out about Android 18 and Krillin being married, which, side note, I genuinely wish
that's true.
Android 18 played a bigger role in this arc. Her no-nonsense attitude.
Well, she had her time in the Android saga and the Cell saga. Well, not really the Cell saga, because she gets sucked into his thing, his tail. But that's a whole story for another day. But she already had her role. But she is in this saga, yeah, the Boo saga. So, I mean, she still has a little bit of a role. So you can't really complain.
Else, but whatever. They eat a lot of food because comedy, I guess. And then they meet this guy. His name is Shin. Or the Supreme Kai if you're a filthy American. Who might actually be the most useless
Supreme
character
Kai
of all time. But we'll get to that later. Shin warns the gang about these two bald guys.
Yeah, he is pretty useless.
Named Spopovich and Yamu, who are definitely up to something. They're going to tattoo Mr.
Oh, yeah,
Satan. But without further ado, it's tournament time, and I'll only cover the relevant fights because I don't want to waste your time with pointless analysis. I much rather waste your time with rants about a show that stopped airing 20 years ago. Hercule shows the crowd an accurate depiction of the Cell Saga, and Goku is the only one who appreciates this work of modern art. Fight 1, Goten vs. Trunks. It's established that they finally made a kids edition of the tournament, probably after receiving complaints that a child could fight a grown man in the tournament. Goten and Trunks both easily make it to the finals.
Do you know why they don't have kids versus adults in the tournaments anymore? Or you rarely see it in actual anime anymore? It's because Toriyama didn't want to draw. What happened was, in the old Dragon Ball, well, I think it's Dragon Ball Z still in actual Japan, but in the old Dragon Ball, the very first saga, the very first, anime before Dragon Ball Z, what happened was, in one of the arcs, one of the tournaments, Master Roshi, which is, he was, what's his name? I haven't seen it for, Jackie Chan. Well, he was kicking Goku, and Goku was also kicking, but Goku was still small, so how could he reach? It's hard to draw a kid versus an adult fighting, if that makes sense, because that's what I heard. That's why they don't really have kids versus adults in the Dragon Ball. Maybe a little bit here and there, but very rare do you see that. I mean, you see it with Gotenks fighting Boo later on, but you rarely see it. And it's so you didn't want to draw that. So it didn't make any sense. That's also why I think they made the kids actually have their own tournament instead of kids versus adults.
For the most part, is pretty standard, with the boys clashing over and over again. I mean, I like these parts where they shoot back to Videl, as she realizes
plus their rivals also
completely outmatched because, well, if she can't even follow the movements of children, what is it going to be like fighting these adults? Probably pretty bad. So then we get to this point where Trunks starts firing ki blasts.
Oh man, that
and
part
Goten
sucks.
tries to retaliate, but
That
can't
part's-
do it. So Trunks bans them. And I actually really like this moment because it shows that while Trunks is a brat, he's still willing to stand up for his friend. I honestly wish we got more moments like this. Anyway, the fight's pretty standard with some shenanigans going on, with Trunks inevitably winning because he cheated. Just like his dad! Kind of, not really. His dad doesn't really cheat. Fight 2.
Well, like,
Piccolo
like some-
versus Shin. Alright,
No, he
so
does-
let's
his
talk
dad doesn't
about the
really cheat.
adult tournament for a second.
He's like Goku.
See, that's
but
funny. Because we're
different
actually going to be
versions.
talking about the adult tournament for the rest of this segment. I'm so smart. This is the first fight, which it isn't a gag fight. So I haven't talked about Piccolo yet, and that's because this is the first time he does anything in this arc. So allow me to quickly explain that Piccolo is the contender for biggest badass of all time. He almost killed Goku, took a hit from Nappa like a champ, went toe-to-toe with Frieza, and beat the shit out of Android 17. He has been shown time and time again to be just as strong as the Saiyans. And that's why this fight pisses me off. This could have shown us what Shin was made of. Apparently he's about as strong as Cell, but we never get to see it. And more importantly, we're told that Piccolo has been training for 7 years and we never get to see it. Piccolo literally...
Well, the reason why is because Piccolo knows right off the bat that he's a Supreme Kai, or a Kai that's higher than their world, or higher than where they are in the place in the world. Sorry, but he knows that something's going on. That's why he doesn't want to fight him, because it's hard to explain, but the reason why is because he knows that he's a higher being, and because he still has Kami inside him, and well, you know what I mean. He still has Kami in his. You know what I mean. But Kami is basically telling him, do not touch this guy because he's a higher being. That's what I think is happening, and it makes sense. So I mean, I can't see why. I mean, I can see why Piccolo isn't touching him or anything like that. Piccolo just wants to walk away.
What the hell? My guy has been done dirty, and I wish I could say things get better.
He wasn't done dirty. He's got his, like I said before, with 18. She had her time. Same thing goes with Piccolo. He had his time too, and people have their time. And who knows? Maybe Piccolo will have a time again, but he won't have another. I don't know if I don't think he's gonna have another time in the Buu arc, but he's had his time in past Dragon Ball. If that makes sense.
Later, but
so he doesn't need this.
Fight 3, Videl versus Popovich. Yeah. Time for the fight everyone remembers.
Okay, this one is a little bit hard to watch.
I really love the title of this episode. It's just all like, yup, this is the one where the teenage girl gets beaten up by a muscular dude. A round of applause for whoever decided that title. Alright, so Videl is eager to prove
That
herself
is
to Gohan
very sick.
because she feels outclassed in every way. The exact same feelings Popovich used to have. See, this is an often forgotten fact, but Hercule is in fact a martial artist, and originally got his title of world champion because of his skill. For the most part, the final match of the tournament that Hercule won was Popovich versus Hercule. But
Speech.
Popovich had been experiencing the side effects of food poisoning at the time, allowing Hercule to win easily. Enraged by his loss, Popovich found a man who could give him power beyond his wildest dreams. Goldie Roger!
Yo!
Bobbity.
No, it's not him. But anyway, he got immense power and became a D-list character.
What these guys are made for are to set up what's going to happen next. That's what they're made for. Because when they steal the energy from all these fighters or all the people that are strong enough for them, that's why they're there. Because Babidi and doesn't want to go over there. He'd rather have his henchmen, Spopovich and Yamu, to go over there to fight in the tournament to steal the energy from all the incredible fighters, which they picked a good day to do because Goku, Vegeta, Gohan are all there. So that's why they're there. Their plot setup. That's what they do.
My point being that Spopovich is a monster of a man, and this fight shows it. Every attack Videl throws at him is easily deflected and punished by a powerful blow. Seeing someone that he cares about dearly get beaten to a bloody pulp, Gohan becomes enraged and almost interferes, but Goku stops him, and Gohan can't do anything to stop the destruction of the girl he loves. I like this fight. I love that the thing that Gohan is consistently used to win fights over and over again, being his rage, can't be used to save Videl. Dragon Ball doesn't really use unique situations like this, because characters are usually able to interfere when things get badly, but, you know, nice change of pace. But yeah, I actually really like this. Alright, 4, Gohan versus Kabuto.
So you probably noticed that I haven't talked about Kabuto once, and there's a reason for that.
Anyway, this fight fucking sucks. It's another non-fight, but instead of Gohan refusing to fight, it's Kabuto, who's like Shin's bodyguard or something. So Kabuto asks Gohan to go full power, and Gohan's like, "Are you sure, bro? I'm like a maximum Saiyan." And Kabuto's like, "Dude, you look like..."
Again, this is plot I can't say it. This is supposed to do with the plot. This is supposed to go further in the plot. He's trying to make him go Super Saiyan because he knows that Spopovich and Yamu were there. And he knows they're collecting energy. And he wants to find where Babidi's hideout is. That's why he's making him transform into a Super Saiyan.
Like a Power Ranger that got lost in the closet. Enraged, Gohan activates Super Saiyan 2 and is going to kill Kabuto. But then out of nowhere, Yamu comes out of nowhere and sucks Gohan dry.
See?
With a vacuum cleaner. It's never really explained how they do it, but whatever. They steal Gohan's energy.
It's magic. Babidi is magic. It's a magic bottle. That's what it sucks the energy from people, or powerful people. Which, I don't know. He sucks the power out of them.
And then
it's basically what it is. It's like a magical thing.
Evil wizard named Babidi, and they need Gohan's energy to awaken Majin Buu. Wait a second. If Kabuto knew Gohan's energy would make Yamu suck him, then why would he make Gohan power up? If he
If you look in the anime, I don't know if this is the same thing for the actual manga, but if you look at the anime, they know that he's powerful because he transforms, and you can see the energy spike. I think that's what happens. So they automatically want to steal his power because they know he's strong. That's why.
That these guys wanted his energy. Why get any of the Z fighters involved? The next few episodes show that Babidi's minions are pretty weak. So why didn't you two take care of it? I mean, that's why I call Shin an idiot.
The reason why, I'm gonna say this again. Babidi is strong. Well, he's a wizard. And they don't exactly know how powerful he is. And they know about Buu. They know that Buu is not completely, not unsealed yet. But they know that they know that they might not have enough power to kill Babidi or his henchmen. I mean, look, later on you'll find out that he's actually saying, you can't kill him, he's strong. But then they surpass every single time until, of course, Buu. But he doesn't know exactly the extent of their powers. These
Also, why
freaking
did you stop
people,
taking care
these
of
creatures.
universal threats? Frieza literally committed mass murder on a galactic scale. Cell was going to destroy the universe. Shin, what the fuck? You're supposed to be protecting this shit! Anyway, Goku and the gang are gonna go with Shin. Gohan gives Videl a senzu bean, and there's this nice scene where Hercule realizes that the man who was saving his daughter was the one who killed Cell, so that's cool. But are you ready for some dumb stuff? I know I am. Okay, so Goten and Trunks have decided to commit identity fraud and fight in the adult tournament. This is the first instance of comic relief stopping the progression of the plot, and it gets much worse. Fight 5, Fortnite.
I like how he complained about 18 not having much relevance anymore, but then all of a sudden 18 has a fight with both of the kids, Goten and Trunks. The masked guy, whatever his name was, he complained about that earlier, but then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, this part sucks."
At this point, you're probably
get rid of it.
confused. Shouldn't we be following our cast? And to that I answer,
Channel awesome.
yes. But instead we witness this. Android 18 is the only combatant remaining in the tournament, meaning she has to fight the champ. But right as they're about to score off, Goten and Trunks enter the mix-up. It's a really boring fight. Until Android 18 cuts their hood in half with a Kienzan. I actually like this scene because it shows that Krillin and 18 are far closer than they appear to be. But trust me, Goten and Trunks are a symptom.
That right there is badass. I used to have Dragon Ball cards, and it used to have this right here. Used to be one of my Dragon Ball cards, Dragon Ball Z cards. And I also had like one of Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks when you're doing the that move that I'm trying to remember the ball move.
Anyway, Android 18 loses to Mr. Satan because
you know what I mean. Gotenks.
Anyway, back to the plot. Babidi does the villain trope by killing Spopovich and Yamu, and this is a massive missed opportunity. You could just have Gohan fight Spopovich, kinda like how Goku fought Tambourine.
The reason why is because they don't really have any more relevance. You don't have any more in the plot, if you know what I mean. They're not really needed anymore. So get rid of them. And plus there's already a plot going on, so they weren't really they're done. They're fulfilled. They're not there anymore. So this guy has no reason to complain.
To help people because while empathy is a human emotion, so is the drive for revenge. This could be the moment where Gohan and Videl switch.
Gohan has a fight later on.
Having Gohan be the irrationally angry one for a second and Videl the voice of reason. I personally think that'd be cool as shit, but that's just
Plus he skipped a lot of episodes. Those are pretty good episodes.
Fine. Anyway, speaking of Videl, she figures out that Gohan killed Cell, and then the biggest mistake in the entire arc so far happens. Videl and Gohan split up. This is a mistake because their characters are deliberate foils to each other. They were deliberately written to undermine and bounce off of each other.
It's not a mistake. Videl knows that it could be really bad danger, and she doesn't want to hold them back. She, as you can see right there, she has a hard time flying. She doesn't want to hold them back. And Kabuto even complains, saying, "We got to get there faster. Come on." So she would have died. Simple as that. So it's not a mistake. It's a good thing she stayed back, even though something does happen later on. But
and it's
we
not
don't
exactly
even get to that
like
point yet.
You need to be relevant to be there for fights in Z. Just look at Krillin on Namek. He was still relevant and because he planned around everything. Just look at Piccolo In the Cell games, he was still relevant, even though he wasn't power-wise.
She's a side character.
Videl
She's
could
not a
have
main
played
character.
A very similar
Gohan's the
role
main
to
character.
this,
Well,
and
one of the main
it's a shame
characters.
that she was left out. But anyway, the gang reaches Bobity's castle, which definitely doesn't look like a sex toy.
It's not a shame
Also,
because it
quick
needs to
side
happen.
note, if our main
for the plot.
characters can all sense ki, why didn't they sense this castle/spaceship before? It's literally stated that Deborah is as strong as Perfect Cell. And if these guys freaked out when they sensed Frieza's ship, what?
Bobity has powers. He's magical. So maybe he put a mask around the ship so they couldn't sense it. They are, and maybe they can't sense it because they're aliens. Who knows? Who exactly knows? But Bobity is magic.
The same thing happen here. Also, I'm pretty sure Shin can breathe in space. Couldn't he have thrown a convenient
he's not magic.
meteorite in the way of the ship? But whatever. They try to confront Bobity, but Deborah, or as I like to call him, the Crimson Chin, spits on both Piccolo and Krillin. Gross. But then it gets even worse as they start turning into statues. Bro, don't fuck with him, he's got the stony spit. Deborah explains that he's the Demon King, and seeing a poser like Piccolo claim that he was a demon pisses him off. So anyway, Bobity and company run away into his castle. And right here is where I want to mention that Bobity sucks.
Castle.
Everything he does is the same cliche bullshit we've seen 100 times over. He's just annoying. And his role could have easily been replaced with Deborah. Bobity's looking for an ancient evil, and he's going to use it to take over the universe. Now, I don't know much about demons, but doesn't that sound like something a Demon King would want? But whatever. Our heroes meet a frogman who eats ki. This could have been a pretty cool concept for a fight, because all of our characters rely on everything for ki, whether it be a ki blast or Super Saiyan. This could have been a really cool opportunity for Goku to show that he's a martial artist first and foremost, like the Goku versus Kale and Caulifla fight in Dragon Ball Super. Side note, and this is completely unrelated to the rest of the video, Goku versus Kale and Caulifla is the best fight in all of Dragon Ball Super, don't even at me. Okay, back to what I originally recorded as part of an on-topic video.
It's been a while since I've seen that, so...
But Goku just makes him explode
okay,
giving
move on.
him a lot of ki, and that's cool.
Alright, what I think this is a cool fight, even though it's not really a fight. It's to show that Goku is really powerful, and because the creature that they're fighting, I can't remember the creature's name, well, he's fighting, sucks in power, and that's how it eats. But Goku has way too much power for it, so it explodes. If it makes sense, that's the reason why. I don't know why. What the hell is that? But I don't think it's to show that Goku is powerful.
Next up is this guy named Pui Pui, or Pee Pee. Get it? Cause he
Pui Pui.
stinks. And now for the main event.
He doesn't stink, he's just more powerful in his own way, but Vegeta's a lot more powerful, because Vegeta trained for a long time, 10 years or something. He trained for a while. So,
Gohan
I mean, he's a lot more
versus
powerful.
Deborah. So I know I've sounded pretty condescending so far, but allow me to tell you about a fight I actually like. So it's Gohan's turn to fight, and Deborah is the last...
A lot of it is wrong, no offense.
So the fight starts, and Deborah starts off with some air slash attacks. Gohan dodges them and hides in the water, throwing out a ki blast. And right as Deborah is able to sense the ki blast, Gohan appears behind him and kicks him into a wall. I love this piece of choreography. It's very reminiscent of a similar attack Goku used against Frieza. Deborah throws some rocks at Gohan, but he isn't scathed as he becomes a Super Saiyan. This is the first time Gohan has been able to fight someone in this arc, and I love that it shows that this is the first time he's taken a fight seriously in 7 years. Because Gohan starts decimating Deborah. Deborah gets all pissy and says the equivalent of, "This isn't even my final form!" and powers up. Now it seems like they're even in strength. As Deborah blasts Gohan into a lake, he tries to use the same trick he used earlier, but Deborah reads him like a book. Can I mention that this fight is amazing? Every earlier fight has been pretty one-sided, and this is the first and only struggle fight
This is a good
in this
fight.
arc that doesn't take 8 years. So yeah,
Also, I like how it shows that each character is learning their opponent's style, which, Anyway, Deborah urges Gohan to use his full power as he spits on one of his gloves, and Gohan avoids becoming a public bird toilet by quickly taking off his glove. I just like the subtle ways Gohan's intellect is shown here. He already saw what Deborah's spit can do, and by having him take off his glove, it shows that he pays attention to detail. Again, it's nothing massive, but it's a nice touch. They continue their brawl as Deborah tries to get the upper hand by summoning a sword, and Gohan narrowly dodges getting his head chopped off. Now Gohan's strategy changes to that of being agile. As Deborah slices the scenery around him, this seems to work well enough until Gohan gets cornered and has to break the sword himself. And then out of nowhere, Deborah gives up. What the fuck? I'm almost as pissed as Gohan here. I actually enjoyed that fight, and kinda wanted to see how Gohan would beat Deborah because they seemed pretty equal in power. And Gohan would have gotten revenge for like Piccolo and Krillin, and it would have been a fun fight, but oh well. Maybe next time. So anyway, Babidi is pissed off.
The reason why they stopped so quickly and abruptly is because Deborah wanted to go back to Babidi. I keep wanting to say Bibbidi, but it's Babidi. And you'll find out why. Maybe he'll say it. Let's go. And that's the reason, is because he wants to talk to him about Gohan. No, the reason why is because Vegeta keeps on complaining. That's right. He's like, I would have done this already, and he knew that he's evil, so that's why he wanted to go back to Babidi. That's why.
Really
that's the reason.
Weak or like cowards like Deborah.
I couldn't remember. I forgot. I was spaced out for a second.
An awful idea. Babidi got a wonderful,
we got the
awful idea. And suddenly, Vegeta bursts out in red electricity, screaming in pain. Part 3.
And turn to Majin Vegeta.
A bad boy. Why did I write that? It's revealed by Shin that Vegeta is being called to Babidi's side, his strong need to prove himself against Goku being the reason for this. Vegeta has constantly been one-upped by Goku, and now Babidi is offering him the power he'll need to defeat Goku. Vegeta is unable to refuse despite how painful it is for him. I like how Vegeta falls to evil once again. Thus, throughout the arc, we've consistently seen Vegeta's anxiety that he won't be able to settle the score with his rival, but now he's accepting this offer. And I also love this because it continues the theme of the series. Progression through struggle. Each time a character has reached a new peak of power, they have been shown struggling for it.
Progression.
Which makes it feel earned. In contrast, the villains don't work for their power. Frieza was born with godlike strength. Cell gained his power by absorbing the androids. And now Vegeta has gained this power through Babidi. I love this not only for the theming, but it also makes sense for Vegeta's character. But anyway,
even though it was
Vegeta
somebody
asks
else that
Babidi
gave
to
him
send
it.
them back to
He
the
doesn't like
tournament
that,
ring, and they are. Goku immediately tells Vegeta that he needs to cut this out because they need to stop Babidi from awakening Majin Buu. Vegeta doesn't listen and blows up some of the spectators. Oh shit. Vegeta is taking this shit seriously. Hey, it's me.
That's my.
Me.
I love
While
Majin
editing
Vegeta.
this video, I completely forgot to mention this moment in the script that always irritated me about Majin Vegeta. So while they're at the World Tournament, there's this moment where Vegeta essentially explains why he's doing what he's doing, which isn't needed because we as an audience already know, because
It's not just for the audience. It's to let them know why he's doing it. If that Goku's, again, he doesn't know. Neither does Shin or Supreme Kai. Yeah, he's also explaining it to the audience. Obviously, but it's not just for the audience. It's for them to know also. They probably don't even freaking know.
his entire character is based around fighting Goku, but B, because he already told us. And I don't know if this is exclusive to Z, if it was removed in Kai, or if it was even in the manga, but there's this one moment where Shin asks Vegeta, why is he doing this? Because Shin is dense, as we've already established.
So, Vegeta talks about why he hates Goku. These include beating him, which Goku never did, making him a good guy, which, no, if you were a good guy, you wouldn't
Nope,
be
you
blowing
didn't.
up people.
He turned into a guy that has his own family, and he got soft after a while. He doesn't like that he was soft, so that's why he got his mind taken over by Babidi. So Babidi put some evil inside him. Obviously, he's gonna blow up people. Come on. He's this guy right here is saying that if he's obviously evil because he blew up people. Obviously, because he got taken over by
I
Babidi.
get that it's not really supposed to make sense because Vegeta's full of pride at this moment, but if I just replaced all of that with this clip from Beauty and the Beast...
Dismissed, rejected, publicly humiliated. Why, it's more than I can bear.
As a joke, it would get the same point across. And what's worse is that we already know what he's doing. It also led to this dumb clip. I'm sure you've already heard it.
Meaningless, huh? What do you know of meaningless?
And I feel like that's unneeded, especially because later on in the Goku versus Vegeta fight, we get a better explanation as to why Vegeta hates Goku, which we've already established.
Vegeta thinks he's meaningless because of Goku always one-upping him every single time. Every single time that Vegeta thinks that he's stronger than Goku, Goku always gets stronger than Vegeta. It's what it happens. Goku is the main character, so obviously Vegeta is always going to play second fiddle to Goku. Goku was the first one to transform to Super Saiyan. Goku was the first one to transform to Super Saiyan God. Goku was the first one to transform into Ultra Instinct. Goku was the first one to transform into Super Saiyan 3. Vegeta, what was he the first one for? He's my favorite character. I'm sure he has a lot of firsts too, but mainly Goku has always been the first one to do a lot of things. So that's why Vegeta always feels like he's meaningless, because he can never rise up and be the guy that saves everyone. Or not really saves, but
Several times
he
over.
feels like he's just there.
I kind of feel like Toriyama needed to have a reason for Vegeta hating Goku, but he hates Goku because Goku is a nobody who consistently one-ups him. You don't need to make anything deep around that. So I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. He just explained it. He just said it.
Need to recap all of this if we already know.
You know what? He's just.
Especially because all you basically need is Vegeta to blow up the crowd and for Goku to say,
Stand back, I got this.
that's it. So yeah. Babidi tries to control Vegeta to kill Shin, but Vegeta refuses, only wanting to fight Goku.
It's called plot.
Goku tells Shin and Gohan to stop Boo's resurrection. Goku and Vegeta meet in combat to finally settle their score. This fight starts and they both reach Super Saiyan 2? What? Okay, remember when I said I had an issue with how transformations were handled in this arc? Well, this is an example of why. The reason why Super Saiyan works is because of the fact that it represents being pushed to your limit. For Goku, it symbolized that some people aren't worth saving. For Vegeta, it reaffirmed his cockiness, and to him at least, it proved that he was right. And for Gohan, it represented maturity, that he finally realized that he had responsibility as one of the strongest beings in the universe to protect not only himself, but the ones he holds dear. And Super Saiyan 2 worked for Gohan because he realized that he needed to weaponize the rage that had saved him time and time again into one unstoppable force. See, in Dragon Ball, transformations for our characters have always been intrinsically linked with their character growth, which is why I feel like they shouldn't have access to this form. The only one in this fight who has grown in character is Vegeta, and Goku hasn't. And you could show a fight between a Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and a Super Saiyan.
Vegeta and Goku had trained for 10 years. Goku in the other world and Vegeta in the regular world. That gives them a lot of time to train and reach a new form. And Vegeta wanted to be Super Saiyan 2. Remember? Do you remember when in the Cell Saga, instead of Super Saiyan 2, he goes to grade 3 and 4, 2 and 3, which is not Super Saiyan 2 and 3. It's different. If you watch Geekdom 101, well, it explains 10-year gap. You're gonna gain power by training every single day. So this guy, he thinks that after the Cell Saga, they didn't gain any power. Obviously, they're gonna gain
The
power.
problem gets much worse later on, so let's just put a pin in it for now. As for the fight,
Obviously,
I know I'm gonna
Goku
piss
would
some
transform to
people
Saiyan
off.
3.
This fight sucks. There isn't anything interesting to watch here. Just a standard.
It's a grudge match between two people. Two Saiyans. Because Vegeta is possessed by Babidi, but he's his own guy also. He wants to fight Goku. He wants to fight him because it really wasn't a really good match. It was a good match because it was a really good fight between Goku and Vegeta a long time ago. But he wants a rematch. So obviously they're gonna have a grudge
I'd
match.
argue Goten versus Trunks is a better fight because at least that fight characterized Trunks in a fun way. But it doesn't work here because, well, the only thing that's characterized here is that Vegeta's evil now, which the first fight did.
It's not just because he's evil, it's because he always wanted a rematch with Goku. So he's finally going to get it. He's always wanted to have a fight with Goku again.
First fight.
Always.
Both of them were put to their limit trying to stop one another. I especially love
Yes,
the
the
beam
first
stroke
fight was
because
awesome.
it represents Vegeta the Prince strikes down to show the fact that he will do anything to put people in their place, whilst Goku, the farm boy, strikes up to show that he doesn't care who you are. If you mess with his friends, he will push himself to the limit to stop you. And I love how at the end, both of them are crippled. And I love that the only reason why Goku survived was because of the friends he made along the way. Their first battle was really good. This is nothing more than a waste of time. Every single scene is recreated over and over again.
It's not a waste of time because what happens is that they keep on fighting and fighting and fighting, and that's what makes Boo come out of his shell, as it was, and that's the reason why this fight exists also. It's not just because of the grudge match. It's because, again, for the plot to move further, otherwise Boo wouldn't have came out of his shell, and he wouldn't have had
Vegeta
a main
grapples
villain.
Goku breaks out with his immense power. Beam struggle. They get thrown into mountains over and over and over again. It's just nothing. Anyway, let's get back to Gohan and Shin. To no one's surprise, they failed horribly. I'm sorry, what else do you want me to say? Also, Goten and Trunks show up for some reason, and at last, everyone's worst fears come true as the tomb of Majin Buu opens. Heh, that rhymed. Part 4, the Majin Buu saga.
So, as you're wondering, yes, it is about 30
Here we go,
minutes
the
into
Majin
the
Buu
video,
saga.
and I am only beginning to talk about the pink bubblegum monster that is the main villain of this arc. Hope you enjoy! I'm gonna stop. So, Buu is awakened, and he's this guy.
All the
I
rest
actually
was
love his
pre-set
design.
up
I like
for
his
what's
little
going to
cape.
happen.
It reminds me of kids playing superhero. Boo is just a guy who likes candy and will kill people to get it. And right now, that's all he needs to be. This Boo's character isn't the most complex, but it really
He's a
doesn't
creature,
have to
not a
be,
guy,
because
but-
Good Boo is an interesting foil to the main characters. Speaking of, Boo immediately kills Deborah by turning him into candy and eating him. Immediately.
The reason why is because he wants to show. He want to show that he's stronger than the other villain that was also strong. To set the new villain up, saying that, oh, this guy is way stronger than this
Proving that
guy.
he's the MVP.
That's the
As
reason.
Babidi is perplexed as to what to do with them, he figures out that threats work pretty well, and Boo starts to follow him. And Babidi's first order of business is to have Boo kill Gohan and Shin. Gohan and Shin versus Majin Buu. Gohan, sensing Boo's power, pulls a Deborah and attempts to run away, but Boo cuts them off. And I find this scene to be immensely hilarious. Boo punches Gohan to the ground. Then, Boo then puts his focus into Shin, who blows some wind at him or something. Boo then beats the shit out of Shin in a much appreciated scene. Gohan realizes that he of course is in a fight, tries to get up, but then gives up halfway through.
I don't hate Shin. I don't know why I hate Shin.
Shin then tries to look at Boo really hard, but you don't need to be an optometrist to tell that won't do shit. Boo of course takes this as a challenge and shows his terrifying eyes to Shin. Shin
He's trying
gets
to
blown
defend
away
himself.
by the shock and almost kills Babidi.
Based.
And in the meantime, Boo turns Shin into a chair. Gohan is offended by this and kicks Boo. This fight is fucking hilarious. Boo then shows Gohan the door. This fight was pretty good. I like it. Anyway, back to...
After critiquing it, he says this fight was pretty good. I liked it.
Goku and Vegeta.
Okay, he critiqued
Goku
the whole entire
senses
fight.
Boo's power and tells Vegeta they should probably stop fighting for like the third time. But this time, Vegeta agrees and asks Goku for a senzu bean. Goku is happy to help, thinking that Vegeta is a good boy and that together they will defeat Majin Buu. But surprise, Vegeta's a bad boy and thinks that he can take on Buu. Sure, buddy. I forgot to mention that Piccolo and Krillin are unfrozen now because Deborah became a
loud.
fetish piece. Anyway, Goten and Trunks are here to try to fight Buu, but they can't do shit. And then Vegeta arrives. He asks Trunks to give him a hug. The first hug Trunks has ever gotten by his father, which is sad as fuck. And then he knocks him out. Goten is obviously pretty pissed off about the whole situation, but Vegeta makes him take a nap, so it's all good. Vegeta then asks Piccolo where he will go when he dies. Piccolo tells Vegeta that he's absolutely 1000% going to hell because he regained his evil form and killed a lot of people. Which is pretty rich coming from the son of the devil, Piccolo. Anyway, Vegeta tells Piccolo to take the kids. This, by the way, is the second thing Piccolo has done in this arc. May I remind you, he is a main character. But anyway, Vegeta is here to fight.
Piccolo has more in this arc. He has more later on. He teaches the kids how to do fusion. He has more relevance. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to say that word. He has more in this arc than just being there, taking the kids and everything. You'll see later on. He's still a main character. He has just not as strong
Boo
as
versus our boy.
as the Saiyans.
Vegeta pledges his love for his wife, son, and Goku. Oh my God, the ship is canon. It's canon. Toriyama confirmed it. It's canon. Oh yeah, he also does a pro gamer move and uses the 200 power move self-destruct.
He didn't say I love
Goku.
Goku.
It's not very effective against bullshit types like Boo. RIP! Jokes aside, I like this scene in concept. It represents the end
Bullshit
of Vegeta's
types.
arc, but it's too soon for my taste. His sacrifice has little to no effect on the plot, and
He comes back later. It's not the end of Vegeta. And it's just to make you see that he has changed throughout the years. He sacrificed himself for the planet. It's to make you look and see, oh, Vegeta has changed, even though he blew up people earlier. But he was still.
being reversed later.
It's hard to explain with
If
that part, but
they had a fight
that's the
with
reason.
Boo versus Piccolo and Vegeta, that would have been sick as fuck. Both of them have been enemies to Goku, and as previously mentioned, Piccolo hasn't done a damn thing yet. You could have a scene where
because Piccolo isn't strong enough, he's a smart one. He knows that if he stays alive, not the Dragon Balls anymore, but if he stays alive, he'll be able to train them.
Where Vegeta
Or
talks
do
to Piccolo
something
and the
with
hug
smarts
scene
later on.
after. But even though this moment is important for Vegeta's arc, it makes no difference in the story, which is pretty bad writing. Anyway, Piccolo finally does something useful and kills Babidi. He then goes to
It's
find
not
Goku.
bad writing, but
Boo regenerates and heals Babidi because we can't have nice things. Now can we? Goku tells Piccolo to regroup everyone on the lookout because Goku has a few more plot devices, I mean tricks up his sleeve. Anyway, in the meantime,
I'll
Babidi
explain later.
destroys some cities and tells the world that he has Majin Buu and he's gonna kill everyone or something. What a compelling villain, am I right? I also forgot to mention that Shin kidnaps Gohan. So everyone thinks Gohan is dead and Boo is about to destroy West City, which is where the Dragon Radar is located. And Bulma, for some reason, acts like it can't be recreated. And I call bullshit on that because in Super, she makes an even better one. What the fuck, Bulma? It's not even the first time you've recreated the Dragon Radar. And then the dumbest shit happens. As you know, in the Cell Saga, Goku introduced a technique called instant transmission, which is basically
I
teleportation.
gotta agree with that one.
So
But
Goku can easily pop in and out and get the radar, but instead they send Trunks to get it. Why? Why would you send a child in the vicinity of a monster like Boo? But to get Boo's attention away from Trunks, Goku teleports.
because Goku wanted to test Boo's strength and wanted to see if he could beat him at the time. And also he has a new form, so he's going to show that off. And also make more time because of the radar. So that's a few different things. More time. He wants to show a new form off. He wanted to test out Boo and see how strong he is. There's a few different things why this scene
situation had a
happens.
really easy answer, guys. What the fuck? Why did you make this more complicated? Goku versus Majin Buu. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. This might be the
He
hottest
didn't make
take
this
in
more
the video.
complicated.
This fight sucks. It's bad. It's shit. It's dumb.
He's testing Boo. That's all this is. He wasn't killing him. He wanted to test
bad.
him.
It's so fucking
And see how strong he
dumb.
is.
It's stupid. I guess I have to stop beating around the bush and talk about it, right? Okay, so Goku stops Boo, turns Super Saiyan, but Babidi's not impressed.
Yes, go
he
ahead.
just turned his hair blonde. Goku reaches Super Saiyan 2, but Babidi doesn't give a fuck because the designs look very similar. And then Goku goes even further beyond. After shaking the earth and hinting to some dumb bullshit in Dragon Ball GT, Goku reveals his hairdo, and Babidi is shocked and jealous at the same time because Babidi is bald. Okay,
I think it's a
time
cool
to talk
form.
About Super Saiyan 3, I hate it. I just, ugh.
If I ranked all the forms, it'd probably be at 3. It's actually a really good form. Sure, it's not
Look
at
at its
my top
design.
levels, but
Why
it's
are
still a
his
really good
eyebrows
form.
gone?
I still like
Why
the form.
does he have pupils now?
I think it's
Why,
awesome.
For the love of God, does he have that hair? He looks like Supersonic. And don't get me wrong, I love Golden Locks as much as the next girl, but like, why? Is it spiky? He just grows. It betrays the theme. But
think
this
it's fucking
time
awesome.
to a larger extent, that Goku obtains this form while being dead. How? Who is there to train with? King Kai? Oh, now it makes sense. King Kai's...
Remember, well, that's actually not canon, but in Otherworld, he trains with he can train really hard, I should say. So it's been 10 years, so I'm sure that Goku can still reach Super Saiyan 3, even with nobody there,
Rip.
except
Alright,
King
joking
Kai.
aside,
This
So,
is incredibly out of character for Goku.
10 years
When
is a
Goku
long time.
fought Vegeta, he knew that fighting him was wasting time, as seen by him constantly begging Vegeta to stop fighting. And Goku has never held back his power when lives are on the line. So if Goku was acting in character, he would have easily overpowered Vegeta. But he didn't do that because that would ruin the tension and the pacing of the fight. Meaning that when the fight was originally written, Toriyama didn't invent Super Saiyan 3 till this moment. Meaning that it just popped out of thin air. Do you see why this
That's
sucks
why.
now? We're not even halfway through.
That makes sense. I have to agree with him there. I mean, Goku did want to end the fight real fast, but they didn't. They ended up like fighting for a while, and Boo was reborn, and but Toriyama, like he said, didn't have the form yet. Planned out at least. So I mean, it kind of doesn't make sense, but he doesn't want to show Vegeta up. I think he wanted to be even with him.
Who is incredibly overpowered, which is why they need said power-ups. I'll get into that more later, but Jesus Christ, the cracks are forming. We're officially in bad arc mode. Also, why the hell
Okay,
does the
alright,
Saiyan
I
race
get
have
it.
so many secret
Alright.
transformations? They got fucking Ozaru, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan God.
It's because trading cards, action figures, new moves mean new forms mean new everything, basically. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4.
It's the sell
Like,
merchandise.
what the fuck? So anyway, Trunks gets the thing, and since Goku fought Boo, instead of getting the radar, he only has 1 hour left on Earth. Also, I'm going to talk about the fight a little bit. It's just bad. It's not interesting. Boring. It's kind of dumb. It's not good. It's not good.
Okay, we can skip the
Anyway,
fight part
Goku only has
because
an hour left, and he teaches the fusion technique to Piccolo,
he's
so
testing
Piccolo
him out.
teaches to the kids instead of like teaching it to anyone else. But you know, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, the fusion dance is. So here's how the fusion dance works. Both people have to be equal in power and do the pose.
Goku knows that Piccolo is strong. Or is smart, I should say. So that's why he taught it to Piccolo. Piccolo can teach it to the kids. Goku only has an hour left on Earth. An hour can go by pretty freaking fast. And that one, and he taught it to the right person.
Exactly.
Because
correct.
Piccolo is smart.
And then they can only be fused for 30 minutes. And it's pretty wacky and random, but okay. Goku leaves his kid in Piccolo's hands. Huh. I've got this really
30
strange
minutes is
sense of
understandable.
deja vu. Boo proves he is the MVP by finally killing Babidi. Finally, a villain I can relate with. Anyway, everyone on Earth is kind of shitting themselves over the fact that yet another superpowered alien thing is fucking with Earth. And they send Mr. Satan to deal with it. Also, Boo builds a house.
At last, you have the vision to find my house.
I feel like that's just an important detail. Alright, now time for the
Fight of the century.
The World Martial Arts Champion versus the Pink Boy. This fight honestly is the most intense one yet. Mr. Satan tries everything. Punches, kicks, he even pulls a Marshu and tries
Lamp oil. Rope. Bombs.
but nothing works. The champ is unable to hurt Boo, and Boo can't bring himself to fight back due to Mr. Satan's overwhelming aura. But then Boo befriends Mr. Satan because Mr. Satan gives Boo candy. Alright, we've finally done it. We've reached the best part of the Boo saga. And after this it gets really, really bad.
Okay, the reason why Boo likes Mr. Satan, or Satan, Hercule in the English dub, is because Hercule is nice to Boo. And he skipped a part, I don't know if it's canon or not, that Boo actually helped a blind little girl so she could see again. And he didn't kill her after that, did he? No, he didn't. And plus, he skipped a big part with Gotenks. Gotenks was already supposed to be around.
I don't want to
What's
talk
going
about
on
it
with this
'cause it's
guy?
really
He
bad,
skipped
but I
like a
have
really
to
good
'cause
fight.
I made this video.
A decent one.
But let's just focus on the here and now. So Boo shows Mr. Satan his
House.
and they end up becoming friends almost instantly. Mr. Satan teaches Boo about Earth, humanity, and animals, and Boo promises not to hurt anyone anymore, as a sign of trust in his new friend.
Yeah, exactly.
He even tame a stray dog.
He helps.
And right as
He
Mr.
shows
Satan
him
is going
things.
to break the news that he has
He's-
befriended the monster, it would seem that the true monsters are only a few miles away. A hunter named Von Zont, I'm not calling him that, I'm just going to call him Blonde Boy, has noticed that there's a bounty on Boo's life.
I mean, I do have a little bit of a bone to pick with Dragon Ball Z. I mean, there's small characters, like for instance, Spopovich and Yamu, all having to proceed with the plot of the story. These two hunters having to proceed with the plot of the story to make Boo mad. I mean, it's the small characters that do these things. It should be different. I do have a little that's a little bit of a bone to pick. But
And with his partner, Smithy,
it's a
they
small
show up,
one.
and everything goes to hell. Seemingly for fun, the blonde guy shoots the dog.
I won't let you get away with this!
Boo overhears this and sees two human beings trying to take away his one and only friend.
I'm not making fun of his narration. I mean, I would probably the same exact way.
And pause.
I have
All right,
a hard
folks,
time
we've
with
reached
talking,
the
as
end
you guys
of
can
the
see
good
anyway.
part. Everyone, pack your bags, leave.
Good part. I thought you said that we're going to that bad part.
It's over. Please leave. Please. I
Shouldn't
don't
have
want to
already been the
talk
bad
about
part.
it. Because this is the last part of the Boo saga where anything makes sense. But for real, I actually really like this scene. It provides a lot of character development for both Boo and Mr. Satan. And their friendship is honestly the most wholesome part of DBZ. Why did I write ever in the script? Holy
Yeah,
shit.
and they continue that after
Part 5,
when Super comes
Boo,
and
more
A and
like
Z.
super bad. Got him. So Boo becomes conflicted on his stance on humanity. Are they all nice like Hercule, or is the entire species deplorable, with Mr. Satan being an exception? Boo literally splits in two over this internal debate, but not before healing Mr. Satan and the dog. And would you look at this guy? His name is Evil Boo, and boy, is he an ugly motherfucker. But I kind of feel like that's the point. He looks like the exact opposite of the Boo we know. Well, I'm just going to call him Good Boo from now on, to make this video non-confusing. As opposed to Good Boo's jolly, colorful, and Rubenesque appearance, this Evil Boo is thin, appears to be scowling, and he's dull. I like the contrast because it's just good character design. But it doesn't really make sense, right? How do you separate your body into two? It's never really explained. I mean, like, not even when Kami did it. But whatever, if there's dumber shit in this art.
Because I can't really explain it either, but I mean, it kind of makes sense in a way. And plus, it needs to be the plot. Because Boo turns good, so they can't really make him be mean again. Well, they can, but and also because of toys, making new forms makes new toys, cards, new everything.
So without further ado, let's get to Good Boo versus Evil Boo. So this fight happens, and it's not even really noteworthy because it's pretty generic. I mean, I like this part where Good Boo emulates the Kamehameha, only to have Evil Boo respond with an evil Kamehameha. Eat your heart out, Zamasu. Anyway, Evil Boo wins and steals the essence of Good Boo, creating Patrick Star!
I'll cut off your nutsack and nail it to my door!
Damn, he hit the gym, look at him. Jokes aside, this is Super Boo. Though I fail to see what makes him so super. So, you know all those criticisms I threw at Bobbity for being...
I don't know if this is actually canon or not. I watched the old Z, so bear with me on this one. But I don't know if the reason why is because a long time ago the North, South, and East Kais are all together, and then Boo came, Kid Boo, and all of a sudden he ended up like getting new forms but being less strong or more strong, I don't know exactly. So that's one of the Kais. That's what Super Boo is.
Super Boo is just more of the same bullshit. I hope you guys love sneering, arrogant villains, because here's another one to throw into the collection. I mean toilet. Yeah, that's what I meant. Hell, at least Frieza was a composed, arrogant villain.
He lingers on these things way too long.
Of his power and all the people he's killed. And it helped because of the build-up he had. From the very beginning of the Namek Saga, you know one thing, that you don't fuck with this guy. Also, Frieza wrecks motherfuckers. He's the type of guy who would compliment you for killing a dog in an elegant way. And I mean, even if we are to look outside Dragon Ball, the arrogant villain trope is a backbone of shonen anime. But it could still work. Just look at Dio Brando. He works because the story develops him in an interesting way, and he's there from the beginning. But by throwing a generic evil guy out of nowhere, you're essentially just guaranteeing that he'll land flat and that we won't give a shit about him. These types of villains only work if they're established early on, so that's why Super Boo falls flat. Now let's talk design. I hate it. Where did his jawline
He's not smart.
go? Both Good Boo and Evil Boo had jawlines. It just looks odd. Looks too
I like the
skinny.
design.
Maybe Cell's tainted my expectations by being ripped. But also, this guy kind of just looks dumb. There's no other word to describe it. He just looks dumb. Anyway, Super Boo makes quick work of the blonde boy and reverse Vor's Smithy. Why? Smithy didn't kill anyone. Hashtag Smithy did nothing wrong. And then
that's not the reason Super Boo doesn't care about people. That's not the reason. He just doesn't care. So if you're in the vicinity, he only remembers Hercule or Mr. Satan because because he helped him through his problems and he was there for him and he was kind to him.
But not because of friendship or anything dumb like that. Because Mr.
And
Satan has Ultra Instinct! It just makes sense. Anyway, back to Gohan and the gang. Oh yeah, Kabuto died, I forgot to mention that. My bad. Goku requests to help with his son's training. Goku requests to help with his son's training. What's he training in, I hear you maybe ask? I don't know, I'm bad at predictions. He's training with the Z-Sword. The Z-Sword! That's right, the Z in Dragon Ball Z stands for sword. Who would have guessed? But real talk, why are you training in sword combat when the guy you are training to fight can regenerate like it's nothing? And it's not like Shin doesn't...
I don't think the sword's also because of... I could be wrong, but I don't think it's also because of the swinging thing. I think it's also because they're building up something. Maybe they think that it's like magical.
What a fucking moron. Anyway, Goku tries to help but ends up breaking the sword, and an old man lives in the sword. Wow, I guess you could say he lives life on the edge. Alright, enough with the sharp comments. I have a point to make. Oh shit, those puns were
Directed by me.
unintentional. Or pun intentional.
He makes the videos longer than when they should be.
At least Master Roshi had a heartfelt relationship with his students. But here, it's just the same joke over and over and over and over. Oh, fucking kill me, please. Speaking of shitty comedy, oh god.
I'm not strong enough.
Part 6. I guess I have to talk about Gotenks. So the boys are learning fusion and do it wrong to hilarious results. See, hilarious is in quotations because I fucking hate it. I'm sorry. We have a literal super...
He literally missed the part where they already had a fight when he was Fat
powered
Boo.
alien on the loose. Why is it time
Good
to
Boo,
make
whatever.
these shitty jokes? That's the
He
first
missed
problem I have with fusion in this arc. It only serves the purpose of making the pacing halt to a crawl. The tone was pretty serious up to this point, and by introducing two painfully unfunny comic relief
They already
characters,
transformed a
doing
long
nothing
time
but
ago to
shooting
fight
the pace in the
Big
fucking
Boo.
head.
Good
And
Boo.
would you believe me if I told you it gets even worse? Thankfully, Piccolo saves the day by throwing these two morons into the Room of Spirit and Time.
Fuck you, that's what it's called.
Once again, Piccolo proves himself a hero in front of his friends and family. They will never doubt his wisdom again. With the bad comedy out of the way, we can finally focus on— oh fuck, he's here
smart.
already! So Piccolo, the smart strategist, thinks of a way to get Boo off of the lookout. He has a brilliant idea. He tells Boo to kill every single human on Earth.
Because he wants to give them more time. And sure, it's not a good... it's not good to do that, but he wanted to give Gotenks or the kids more time to fuse and to train. That's the reason. But he didn't know that Boo was going to wipe them all out just with one attack.
And then Boo does it. Once again, Piccolo proves to his friends and family that he is a menace to society and should never be taken seriously.
He thought he had a good idea at the time. It's not a bad idea, but it's not a good idea either. It's like he thought he would give them more time, and he thought that they would kill him.
And now we get to
or at
everyone's
least
favorite
defeat
part of
Boo
the arc,
finally.
where everyone sits down
He was wrong.
and waits. Remember the good pacing? Jesus Christ, it seems like it was here a century ago. Boo is waiting to fight Gotenks. Gohan is waiting to be trained. Piccolo is waiting to be relevant. Yeah, that's why I watch Shonen. To watch people sit and wait for hours on end. Kill me. But anyway, the Room of Spirit and Time opens, revealing the worst character in Dragon Ball history. Gotenks has entered the chat. Jesus Christ, where do I...
I don't think Gotenks is the worst character. I think he looks badass, and his powers are pretty neat. Sure, he fucks up because he didn't tell Piccolo, but he's a kid still. Come on now, they're both kids, and even when Goku and Vegeta transform,
So this fucker, after learning everyone just
they have the
died,
same exact
just
issue.
casually decides to fly around the planet. Might I ask?
The fuck?
This kid is half Goten, right? So why is he acting like an apathetic asswipe? He acts like a cocky piece of shit, and once again ruins the tension with his shitty comedy. It's not funny, just annoying. It's annoying as fuck.
Because they're both kids.
You'll see what I mean when we get to...
And plus, look at
Gotenks
Vegeta and
versus
Goku.
Super Boo. Alright, just gonna adjust my chair, drink some water, because I'm gonna scream a lot. So
Oh my
Piccolo
goodness,
locks everyone in the Room of Spirit.
I think I might skip a few
despite the fact
because
that
this
there
is
can
going to
only
be
two people in there at
2
a
hours
time.
long.
They also make the claim that the
I'll-
Room of Spirit and Time has
I'll watch a
decreased
little bit
time
more, and then I'll
compared
skip
to
some.
outside, aka 1 hour inside the room equals 1 minute inside the room, which is not how it works. It works the opposite.
One day out here, 1 year in there.
Or else the entire Cell Saga wouldn't be possible. How did you fuck that up? But anyway, I forgot to mention the most egregious thing about Gotenks. He claims he's better than you and dabs.
Kill him.
Quick side note, why is Boo letting
Plot.
him fuse? Please, man, just kill them, please. I'm sorry about saying that you're...
Let's see 4 dabbing.
Please just do it. Please, I beg of you. Anyway, Gotenks punches Boo and Boo's not impressed. Then Gotenks tries a secret technique. Wacky bullshit! And tries to blow up Boo with a kick, and it doesn't work. Then Boo's eyes change to red? What the fuck? This is a trend with Super Boo. He just makes up random shit. We'll see this more later on. Anyway, Gotenks does more stupid shit that kills the pacing for way too long until he becomes a Super Saiyan. Finally, the fight begins after wasting our time for far too long.
Kind of like what you're doing sometimes.
You know full well what he does. More wacky bullshit. Please, just do something interesting. He does this dumb bullshit like the fucking Super Ghost Kamikaze attack. Quick question, how? That makes no sense.
Super
Can
Ghost
you make souls? Can Gotenks create
Kamikaze.
souls? Is he God? How can you do that? Why can you do that? Remember when Dragon Ball made sense? Remember when characters had believable abilities and shit? And it gets worse. It gets so much fucking worse. So Boo, like me, has had enough of this dumb bullshit for a lifetime and fucks up Gotenks. Finally, a villain I can relate to. Anyway, Piccolo destroys the exit and Boo gets really pissed off and screams his way out of the room.
Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs.
What the fuck is happening?
Boo can break dimensions because he's so powerful. He's not. He's made from magic. And that's the reason why.
That doesn't even make sense. You can't just scream your way out of another dimension.
That makes sense.
That doesn't make any sense. That's
it does
stupid.
make sense.
It's fucking dumb. This is what I mean by the fact that Boo just makes up random shit, by the way. And we're not even...
He's made from magic.
Oh, God. So then the worst thing ever happens. So Gotenks, who is barely even a Super Saiyan, mind you, hasn't mastered the form at all, becomes Super Saiyan 3, which is just so wrong. It was bad when Goku did it, but Gotenks... is barely even a Super Saiyan.
It's not wrong.
How could he reach this
They're
form?
strong.
How? Does the theme even mean anything anymore? Goten and Trunks are fucking kids.
Alright, I'm gonna skip some, okay? Because skip some to here. Cause I don't. Cause I'm gonna keep skipping some parts because I don't want to make this video so
next
long.
Part is going to be hard for me to
Part
talk
7.
about without sounding like a rage-induced fangirl. So sit tight. Piccolo was one of the best characters.
If you want to watch the real video,
and
maybe
I
I'll
can't even
have a link
begin
at the bottom.
to explain this next part without you understanding that. Piccolo was born as the spawn of basically the
He still
devil,
is.
and when he was introduced,
Well,
his
not
first goal
nowadays,
was to
but
finish his
back
father's
then.
work by killing Son Goku. But when the Saiyans arrived on Earth, Piccolo realized that he needed to team up with Goku to make sure his world wasn't destroyed. And through that, we see what makes Piccolo work, the fact that he's able to put his life on the line for the greater good. During the Frieza saga, he allowed himself to get pummeled to buy some extra time for the Spirit Bomb. Even though he was introduced as evil, he was given empathetic traits. And this works because of his friendship with Gohan. Gohan made Piccolo realize that he isn't a monster, that he could in fact be good. And throughout the following sagas, he would remain a powerful character, holding off the likes of Cell and Android 17, showing that even though he didn't have any bullshit transformations, he was still relevant. And I need you to understand this before I explain to you, that Piccolo in the Buu saga has some of the worst character assassination I have ever seen in my entire life. Piccolo starts out by doing nothing. Then against Deborah, he does nothing. Even though I joked about it earlier, this could have been an
It's to make the audience or the people know how strong or how like godly Shin was in the beginning. That's the reason why Piccolo didn't do anything at that time. Piccolo is really just in this saga, the Buu saga, to be smart. That's what is relevant. That's why he's there. That makes sense, right? Because he's not as strong. He's strong, but he's not as strong as Buu. So what can he do? He's not as strong as Deborah.
amazing
Or maybe he
opportunity
was. I
to
don't
show
know.
how far Piccolo has
But
come.
he's
He was
just
able
there to be
match
smart.
Android 17 in power, and we never really see any proof that he grows past that. Never. And any of them have been shown to have
Alright,
the
I had
exact
enough of this.
opposite traits. And this new form
Let's
is
try
not earned. This is a more powerful
this part.
form than any other Super Saiyan form, but it isn't earned. So
If you've seen Dragon Ball Superhero, you know that he gets another form that's not earned either. Dragon Ball does that. They even did it with Goku a long time ago to make him stronger. It happens. That's what precedes the plot. And you don't have the time chamber anymore.
Remember the Slavovich fight? Remember where Gohan couldn't do anything? This could have been his arc. His arc could have been about controlling his rage. The thing that saved him time and time again. What if the old Kai can only grant this form to people who are calm-minded? Then, this fight against Buu would have made Buu realize that Gohan becomes weaker when he's angry. You could have Buu mock Gohan, and right as Gohan is going to lose, Videl would contact him from King Kai's world, telling him that she is alright.
I'd fuck a lot of shit up.
Focus. Then you could have Gohan kill Super Buu and bam, you have a good arc for Gohan. He learns to be a better hero by abandoning his Saiyan traits and becoming fully human. Bam.
What happened was Toriyama was going to make Gohan the main character. But then something happened. I can't remember exactly what happened. I look into it again. But then Goku came back and he became the main character again. So that's the reason. It's not because it's not going to survive.
It isn't perfect, but it's better than just getting another by-the-books Dragon Ball transformation. This is the worst mistake of the arc. As many of you know, Gohan was intended to
they're going to make Goku shine. It's about Goku. Goku's the main character.
That Goku returned, so Toriyama made Goten,
Yep.
but they still wanted Goku. So
Yep,
Gohan
that's what it
got
was.
this, a way
Angry
that
fans.
would push him out of the spotlight so his dad can return. He got a shiny paint job, and he acts like Vegeta now. Is that what you wanted? Is this the
You just
Gohan
answered
you
his own
wanted?
question.
Did you want to see the sweet, innocent boy who would make friends with a literal...
Gohan has always had like a power inside him to make him like stronger, to make him more angry and more mad. What the old Kai did was make that power come out more.
Is that what you wanted?
He
Jesus
knew.
Christ, who the hell wrote this? Frank Miller? Hey, it's me, editor me again. I told you you'd hear from me again. Anyway, as I was editing this video,
Alright.
I came across the common belief that it's okay for Gohan to act like Vegeta now because he acted like Vegeta against Cell. To be clear, I don't hate comic relief characters, far from it, but when said characters ruin the pacing of the story being told for a shitty
I'm skipping
joke,
some more
it
because
makes me feel like you're
if I
wasting
don't,
my time. That's why I don't like Goku.
it's gonna be way
and
too
that's
long.
why I like Vegito. First off, Buu gets his ass kicked without any character assassination. Nice. Vegito is toying with Buu, but he's also not wasting time. And he's also
I like
trying to
Vegito
find
also.
a way to
Vegito
save everyone
also.
that Buu is absorbed. And even when
But I
he
like
gets turned into candy, he's
the
still a
other one more.
badass. Ah, the sweet taste of vengeance.
Gogeta.
And then purposefully gets absorbed to save his family. This is why Vegito is cool as fuck and why Gotenks sucks. So once Vegito gets absorbed, he infuses into Goku and Vegeta. I actually kind of like this part though. This is the only time these two have interacted without wanting to fight each other, and I actually really like it. I love Goku's stupidity and hopefulness, contrast with Vegeta's arrogance and Napoleon complex. I also like Vegeta's fear of worms, it's amazing. Eventually they find all the people that Buu has absorbed, except for Krillin, Android 18, Bulma, Videl,
He
Yamcha,
like literally
but whatever.
bypassed.
Anyway, Super Buu starts to fight them inside his head, which sounds pretty stupid, but it's actually a pretty fun fight. Super Buu versus Goku and Vegeta. This is fun because Buu is basically invincible and they have to find out cool ways to hurt him, until Vegeta threatens to steal away Good Buu, who is the source of his power, kind of. So Goku and Vegeta take out everyone out of Buu's head, and without the power of Good Buu, Super Buu dies. Yay! We did it, gang! He's dead! And what is born in place
And Kid Buu
is
comes.
Buu's original form. Pure Buu. It's a better name than Kid Buu, so I'm using it. Anyway, Pure Buu blows up the Earth, along with everyone still on it, except for Mr.
True,
Satan,
Pure
of course.
Buu is
I
pretty
would
good.
have a problem with this.
because we literally just spent the last few episodes trying to save these guys only for them to die, but I forgive it because this next fight is the only fight I like against any Buu form. So yeah. So anyway, Goku and Vegeta are transported to the world of the Kais, and Pure Buu follows them because he can teleport. How many powers do you have? Alright, time for the fight I like. Pure Buu versus Goku and Vegeta. So Vegeta shows some amazing character development by letting Goku fight Buu on his own. Goku powers up to Super Saiyan 2 and fights Buu, who is sleeping, but then wakes up and starts pounding his chest like a gorilla. Goku doesn't waste any time in trying to destroy him, but Buu regenerates and laughs at him. I actually really like Pure Buu, because he doesn't talk, and he's evil as fuck and enjoys killing people because he's just a force of death. Like, look at this dude's smile. You could tell exactly how many people he kills. And I just love that, like, nothing matters to him. He just thinks that killing things is the most fun thing in the world. And you don't need any monologues to show that. Just, like, look at this dude's fucking face. Or, like,
he's right.
Later when he
He's
beats
true.
the shit out of Vegeta
This guy's
and
actually
starts
doing
laughing
good
at
now.
him, it's actually pretty scary. You know what? If you ask me, we should have just had this guy from the beginning. No stupid Buu. No fucking Bobbity. Just pure Buu.
But like I said before, the reason why they have so many forms is because they sell toys. Yeah, you know what I mean? Well, maybe a little different with Cell because
That would have been
there was a whole story with
I
that.
liked
But
that arc. This video wouldn't have even existed.
there's a reason.
But anyway, Buu starts beating the shit out of Goku, with Goku only being able to retaliate every once in a while. Anyway, Buu shows off his stretch abilities by moving his foot through the floor to try to kick Boku by trying to kick Goku. I really like this fight because it does a great job of making Goku feel outnumbered, even though he's fighting one guy. Everything he throws at Buu is easily countered, to the fact that he has to use his most taxing form, Super Saiyan 3. And when he does, Vegeta shows even more development by actually complimenting Goku. Buu and Goku clash again and again, but this time it's Buu who is outmatched. Super Saiyan 3 is just too much for the little guy, and eventually he has to resort to making multiple copies of himself just at Goku's strain. But this doesn't last forever, as Super Saiyan 3 takes its toll, because it's just pretty much useless form. Goku falls down due to exhaustion.
It is a useless form, but it's good when you need a burst of energy and strength for a little short time. That's why it's better to use Super Saiyan 1 or 2 back then.
But now it's Vegeta's
look at
time to
Kaioken.
shine. So the plan
It
is
puts too much
use the
strength on your
Namekian
body.
Dragon Balls to wish back Earth and all the people on it, and to give Goku his energy back. But Vegeta has to buy some time for that plan to work. Vegeta powers up to Super Saiyan 2 and Buu starts beating him up. But Vegeta gets up over and over again. He isn't going to let this little gumdrop beat the shit out of him again. He actually also kind of scares Pure Buu. And 3 wishes later, Goku starts charging the Spirit Bomb. But it seems like there isn't much life left in the universe for it to work properly. So Mr. Satan calls out to the people of Earth to lend Goku his energy. The Spirit Bomb grows to the size of a meteorite as Goku throws it. He wishes to fight Buu again, but you know, without everyone dying next time, that would be preferable. The people of Earth have given their energy to Goku to kill the being who had killed them. Which is why I always debate people on who killed Kid Buu. Goku didn't kill Kid Buu. We killed Kid Buu. I mean Pure Buu. God damn it. I can't even stick to my own rules.
Well, if it wasn't for Goku doing that, then obviously Kid Buu would still be alive. But
So
yes,
yeah, I
people
actually
did
like
help
that
him.
ending. I like how
So
the
they
Spirit
all
Bomb
worked
killed
together.
Pure Buu, because he is pure evil after all. So naturally, it should kill him.
Yeah, it's a good
I really
ending.
like the ending, and I just wish that I didn't have to suffer through the majority of this arc to get to it. And let's just pause for a second. See, originally in the script, I wanted to end things here, with an overall rant about why these parts didn't work. But then I realized that I skipped over something crucial. I skipped over the end of it all. The end of Dragon Ball Z. And it's such a big reason why I think the Buu saga just doesn't work. So let's talk about it. Years have passed since the defeat of Kid Buu, or Pure Buu as I called him originally, and Vegeta's had a kid. Goku is basically by himself, well, with Chi-Chi. Again, Goten is like 20 and still has nothing going on for him. Trunks is basically just himself from the future, taking away all the traits I liked from him. And Gohan and Videl have a baby, which is a change I actually like. The World Martial Arts Tournament is coming again, so they decide, just for old time's sake, to have one final bout. And then they see him, a kid with a similar power level to Kid Buu. And Goku immediately recognizes him, and in their fight, Goku tries to aggravate him to get him to show his power, and through this they become friends. Goku then takes this kid, goes off to train him, and that is the end of the series. Might I ask, what the fuck? This is literally a random guy Goku just met. A random...
You know Goku. Goku is not very... Well, he's smart in a combat way, but he's not a family person. You know that he hasn't lived with his family for 10 years. He was in Otherworld. So, leaving his family like this is nothing to him. He wanted to train just because he remember what he asked for a long time ago? That he wished that he was back, wish he could fight him again? Well, he got his wish. So that's why he leaves with him. It's in Goku's nature. It's not like, you know, Goku, oh yeah, okay, he's a good fighter. See you later.
Person.
You know, that wouldn't be in his
Goku
nature.
Has always been nice
so
to strangers.
This fits.
I'm not saying that this is out of character. I'm saying that in this final moment that he wanted to be with his friends and family, he decided to ditch all of them to train this random kid, which I don't personally think is very Goku. Go rewatch Z.
Really? You don't think Goku would abandon his family for something?
Even though a lot of people like to joke about Piccolo being Gohan's real dad,
okay,
Goku still very clearly cares for him, and, you know, is kind of sad that he died and let basically his arch enemy torture him for a year. So, yeah, I don't think this is very,
Hey, he
Goku.
died a couple times.
Also, let's finally talk about the theme and why this ending doesn't...
I think it is, but... His kids are grown up. He doesn't. I don't think he really cared for his wife in the first place. I think he just married her because he considers his family friends. Basically, that's what I heard. So that makes a lot of sense. Why would he stay?
Work.
His family's grown up.
In the end of the Saiyan saga, we're faced with the question: should Vegeta live or should he die? He hasn't killed anyone yet, and he fully intends to kill people. The obvious choice would just be to like Krillin kill him. But Goku, while he was on King Kai's planet, while he was in heaven, learned something. Forgiveness. And I'm saying he learned it there because before then he never showed it. Whenever he came across someone who wanted to kill him, he'd just kill them first. Meaning he...
They just showed a picture, he just showed a picture of Tambourine, I think it was. Well, remember? They killed Krillin. So, I mean, he's getting revenge for his friend. Remember what happened to Krillin again in Dragon Ball Z when Frieza killed him? That's when Goku transformed to Super Saiyan for the first time.
He either learned this from King
Don't
Kai
kill his friends.
or Kami.
They're like
and
his
he spares
family.
Vegeta. This means Goku has effectively learned something new. It is a change for his character. So then when he fights Frieza, and he tries to apply that change,
because
he
Vegeta
tries
didn't
to
kill
spare
anybody.
Frieza, it ends up blowing up in his face. He learns that although saving people is good, maybe not everyone can be saved. You see how Toriyama did that? He introduced a change to the character, and then changed it again. This is what we like to call in the industry character development. At the end of the...
But Goku still killed people after he came from Underworld. He did say to Frieza that I'm just spare you, but Frieza tried killing him, and then Goku had no
Cell
choice but to
games,
kill him.
Goku realizes that
It
he's
happens.
wrong about his son.
Goku has
that his
killed
son
people.
doesn't like fighting.
Or
that
creatures.
he was wrong. That maybe violence is just a path for only him and a select group of his friends, and forcing it onto people is, well, almost as bad as Cell. So he sacrifices himself to save his son, which shows immense character growth from the guy who used to want to fight literally everyone and thought a car was a monster. This is where Goku's arc should have
Yes.
ended. Goku realizing that he was ultimately wrong, but it kept going, didn't it? And now
He's
we
always
have
been friendly.
an arc where Goku didn't learn anything. The entirety of this arc, Goku has done literally nothing but impose the same ideology that he did in the Cell games, and he's proven right. Fighting is the answer to all of your problems. This is bad. This is bad writing. When I was a kid all those years ago, when he came back,
He wanted to test Oob out because he knew that Oob was a reincarnation of Boo.
for that one day.
Again,
First thing that went through my
testing
head was, how
powers
is he
and
going to talk to
strength.
Gohan? He had basically left everyone for 7 years.
Plus,
Does
it's the
Gohan
tournament.
forgive him, or does Goku have to deal with it? Does Goku originally try non-violent methods to stop Boo, like the Mafuba, or, I don't
7
know,
years? I thought it was
teaching
10.
more than one person fusion? But no, he just tries to punch Boo a lot, 3 times, and he's proven right by the end of it. This is character regression. Goku learned that fighting isn't always the answer, and then the story said, no wait, actually it is. We need to kill this guy, even though in a brief moment it looked like mercy was the answer. It looked like maybe Boo could be talked to, that maybe there is a difference between fighting for the sake of personal growth.
The series is about action. That's what the series is about. If the characters just stand around and said, you know what, you're right, let's not fight.
And
Wouldn't you
fighting
think
for the
it's
sake
boring?
of hurting someone. But no, we can't have that, now can we? And it in fact makes the entirety of the Boo saga kind of pointless, doesn't it? No one really learns anything.
No, 'cause it's
except
a
for
series.
Vegeta, who was already going down that path anyway. And if you really want to be an asshole about it, Boo didn't teach him that, Babidi did. Piccolo,
They're Saiyans, they
here's
like
what
to
he
fight.
learns. He's never going to be strong enough to ever compete with Goku again. So, he doesn't. Gohan learns that, yeah, maybe fighting isn't the answer, and then never does anything again. Videl learns
Gohan never wanted to fight in the first place.
that she
But he
should
knew
just
he
give
had
up
to.
being a superhero and just becomes a walking,
can't really
talking
put Gohan
moon
in
for
that
another
category.
Saiyan, just like Chi-Chi and just like Bulma. Krillin does nothing. Tien does nothing. All
They
of
were
these
superheroes
characters were all
together.
determined, like Goku, to perfect their martial arts skills, to become the best possible.
It's called moving new people in and putting the other
person they
people
could
to
be.
the side.
They just decide to give
because
up.
they're not
and
strong
this
enough.
echoes in Dragon Ball GT and
Simple.
Super. In Dragon Ball GT, the only real person to ever really solve anything is Goku, who again doesn't learn anything. He learns that yeah, fighting is the answer. It worked that one time. Even Oob, the person that we introduced as a literal opposite of Boo, he doesn't learn.
Alright, I can't watch this anymore. And it's already been like over an hour of me ranting about this guy not thinking what he's trying to say. Yeah. It's been an hour. I've been listening to this guy that doesn't know what he's saying. The Boo saga sure has its like faults. I mean, he pointed out some good. He pointed out some faults that I agreed with. So I'm not saying that he's totally wrong, but a lot of it was wrong. There's plot, there's characters, there's character development. That's what it is, and it's an anime. It's Dragon Ball. They have to fight. Like I said before, would you watch Dragon Ball if there wasn't fighting? and all it was talking. I mean, I probably would because I like Dragon Ball, but it needs action. That's all I can say. If you guys like this, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it. This has been Resident Lynx.